You actually think that I would do this to myself? Why won't you believe me?
How can we, Jess? Huh? Tell me. I mean, we thought you put this all behind you.
Why do you keep blaming everything on me? You never listen to me. And what, we're supposed to pretend like we're some big happy family again? I can't do that.
Like how far away they park in this one.
Oh, man. They told me
No,
to...
make her run.
I know, exactly. I was going to say, they made me run. They were like, and, you know, when you leave, just run into the house. And I was like, run into the house? Why? I don't like...
Was that a reshoot where that thing popped open? I don't remember that from Principal.
I don't know. So I remember it just sitting there open.
Yeah.
Maybe coming here was a mistake.
Don't second guess yourself, Roy.
Why not? Everybody else around here does.
Don't attack me over this.
I should have sold.
I remember hearing the crew talk about this scene. I mean, they said, wow. I mean, they were really impressed. I really liked it. I was excited to hear that.
You know, Dylan, I really enjoyed working with Dylan. He and I wanted to take these, you know, ATVs that we had out on set and go spinning around. So we kept trying to sneak out, find a day to do it, but he wasn't allowed to because,
right.
You know, he could have hurt himself. Just like you probably weren't supposed to go play basketball with us either.
Oh, come on now.
They didn't want to hurt their star.
It is one of kind of the sucky things about acting. I mean, when you're working, it's awesome, but you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like
Just not allowed.
Yeah, you can't. Like I remember I was trying to skateboard and I had day one, I had this big red gash on my arm. They were pretty pissed about that.
Yeah, they're very... I mean, that's the best part of it, actually, is just watching their faces when you start, like, if you run across the room and they're like, oh, watch her, someone, like, go after her.
Yeah, like someone knocks
producers.
over, like a glass or something like that. Everybody looks to you to make sure you're okay. You're, like, halfway across the room.
Everything okay, Roy?
No matter what I do, I can't keep this family together.
I grew up on a movie set just, like, chilling at craft service and, you know, playing poker with the grips. You know, the first movie I did, the first couple sets that I was at that I actually had a job on, it was trippy concept when someone starts talking to you and you actually have something to say and they're going to listen and you have a job. I mean, it was a huge switch. It was like, finally, yeah, I know this is how it should be. I'm here to do something, you know? Feed store.
Why?
Bobby, I want to tell you. I love the storytelling aspects of acting. You know, it's like you never do a good job unless you're on a movie that you really kind of care about. It's all about telling stories that are worth, you know, the money that it takes to tell them. I've seen them.
You've seen ghosts? Have you talked to your parents?
Well, I've tried, but they won't listen to me.
Why?
Back in Chicago.
I was really nervous about this driving acting. I think it turned out well, though. Especially, too, after seeing Dylan in one of the first scenes, like, going, you can't see what I'm doing, but he's doing a little bit of back and forth action on a straight road. It's pretty funny.
His flight was late, so...
It was weird to drive when you're not really driving.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things. It's one of the hardest things out there, I think. In acting, one of the hardest challenges you can do is driving while being towed. Well, because they want you to look, you know, they want you to look to the person who's talking to you. They also want you to, you know, keep driving.
There's some pretty good hair acting on my half, I think.
I think in the last one, you actually eat your hair.
Yeah, I do that.
Good.
You can have some right now if you want.
You
I
know
have a
what?
lot.
It's still got some bugs in it, so I'm gonna pass.
Everybody makes mistakes, Jess.
Love it.
Yum.
Okay. Right, Benny? Say it right, Mama. What are you pointing at, Ben? What do you see? What does it look like?
Oh, spooky.
That took about 8 hours to do.
Jason, I was trying to remember when he points. Was that one of the Pang brothers' ideas, or was that one of you guys? I can't remember, but the point thing was like really kind of a cool
No, that was
moment.
the Pangs. That was them. You know, they liked the idea of little children being able to see ghosts and not being afraid of them, and so the whole movie there, he's pointing at them. That was definitely a Pang idea.
Yeah.
And here's a scene where John had to almost completely imagine the crows the entire time, because obviously that was actually pretty cool, because that's a little camera that went on a little helicopter with a remote control, and it just kind of flew down to John.
Yeah.
And then Bruce, you've added all these, except for maybe the couple you see close up that are real.
Yeah, and the couple puppet little pecks we had there.
It was a combination of real crows, puppet crows, and CG crows. And this was actually once a very violent sequence.
Technicolor did all the CG birds for us in Toronto, and I think they did a fantastic job. This scene really plays.
He's doing a great job.
He did a great job of acting on this, and we had a few puppet guys actually peck his head to give him a sense of how bad it could hurt. There was one scene that he was willing to have these crows all around him, right by his face and stuff, but we changed it because those crows are just quick to pluck something off your body.
Oh, yeah.
So we even though he was willing to do it, we talked him out of it.
This was actually one of the very first scenes the Pangs ever pitched. William, myself, Sam Raimi, and Rob, when they came onto the movie, was the idea of a stain, and at the end, a woman coming out of the stain.
Ooh, I love that, like that scream at the end there. That was cool.
What happened?
Now this is the part of the movie where the adult finally sees it and really does get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like, now we're packing.
I love that. He sees the blood and he's like,
Originally, wasn't like the blood supposed to fall into his eye, and that was what?
oh, that would have been cool.
Maybe I just made that up. Should be a writer.
No, I was well off the project by the time they changed that. So.
That would be very cool. That would look awesome. I mean, have you ever seen like someone's eye fill up with blood?
Well, no, that's what I thought it was. Is that
Yeah,
his
when you
eye
strangle
was...
someone, it breaks all the capillaries in your
Yeah.
throat, so your eyes fill with blood when you're strangled.
Yeah.
So it's as if he's strangling, or somebody's strangling him or something. Yeah.
I like it. This is like, I think John really did a good job of just being sort of pretty country, and then all of a sudden pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, I know. I love his switchover. It really works that he's such a cool, nice, really easygoing guy, and then all of a sudden he does this. Crazy.
Well, this is Canada. I mean, he was known there for Northern exposure. I went to a bar with him when I was up for 5 minutes, and everyone would buy him beers, addressing him by his name from Northern Exposure. Yeah, I think Jim Miller came up with the idea to cast Corbett. I mean, we were looking at all the tapes and all this stuff, including Kristen's, interestingly enough. And I think Jim Miller, one of the execs at Mandate, said, you know what about John Corbett? And I don't know, I just went around the room and everybody was like, you know, that's a really crazy idea. And it came together very quickly. Except I remember he would not cut his hair. And so people were like, yeah, sure, who cares? Rock and roll, you know?
Well, John is a rock and roll. You know, he's got this band
He's got a
that's
CD
doing
that
really...
just came out too.
Yeah, it's actually, he's really good. And they toured with ZZ Top last year. So.
Awesome. Oh, and he would have fit right in with his ZZ Top facial and...
couldn't cut his hair.
Good Texas band. Yeah.
Oh, his songs are so funny too.
This was a pretty good slap coming up. Sitting in the theater, everyone
Yeah. The dialogue here is creepy too, like just him